You're listening to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Broadcasting to you live from the moving truck that's parked right outside of Gunn. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Hot and spicy. That's what that was.
Smoky.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the Wicked Theory Podcast, episode 179. These voices that you hear besides me, I'm Bill, and that's it's Jay puffing on a stogie.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. What's going on, Chief? Guess who's back?
How you feeling?
Feeling good.
All right, and then Brother Bob on the guitar.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah. I'm enjoying the extra leg room around here.
We thought you might.
I thought you might. How's it going? Did you get your cigar under control? You got that all sorted out?
No, I was interrupted
Okay.
by your introduction.
Oh, I'm sorry. But we have a time. We start it every Saturday night, 7 p.m. How you like that for a segue? Eastern Standard Time, people. Come listen live. We do it at, I said it already. At 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays. I was in a loop. See, he knows.
Yeah, one of those.
And if you want to, you can send us emails. If you're listening live or anytime during the week, send them to podcast@wickedtheory.com. Leave us a voicemail if you visit the site.
Emails.
We get emails.
Yeah.
I hope
Send
that
those
maybe we got a couple of
Hey,
emails.
SO, why don't you send us a fucking email?
And if you don't like that,
That's
you
the-
can send an email all about that.
Yeah, those were Uncle Jay's rewritten lyrics.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, blame me for that
See
shit.
that? Isn't that something, right? Like, all of a sudden, if it's got some
I'll own
vulgarity,
it. I was just trying to make a joke.
Fuck.
goes right on to you.
How many fucks are we up to?
I don't know, but
at least 3.
should we leave some? We should do that. We should put somebody in charge.
The fuck meter.
We gotta give Palmer a bell.
You know what I mean? Or just Wesley or something. Wesley's already, Palmer's already kind of doing stuff behind the scenes during the show. So maybe Wesley or somebody like that could be the official fuck count.
The fuck
guy.
meter.
You know what I mean? And at the end of the show, tell us, like, right before we leave, all right, what's the final tally?
The fuckometer.
There's no way that he can, in his role, have an interactivity with the chat room and like have control of like audio stuff and you know what I mean? There's nothing
Who?
like that. Like there's like no board for like him or something like that.
Who? Wesley or
Palmer.
Palmer? No. Well, that's too much. That's too much. It's too much power and authority and control. I don't want to give him any more.
Well, maybe if you could just like any way he could like flash the white background, make it blink or something.
Yeah, I mean, basically that's what he does anyway. Because like he'll try to get my attention inside of the document chat,
Right.
and I'll not see it. And there's like a little notification that just sits there and blinks, like like, hey, I'm over here talking to you.
Does it count like how many notifications? Because I'm just picturing just him and like 253.
It did get up to that
No,
one week. It was like it said like 5.
Just
and
like
I had to open it.
notifications with a little number 253 on the top and 254 every time it blinks.
Right. Just keep tallying up. So anyway, yeah, I think they like that idea in the chat room. I think somebody said something. I really need to start writing my random questions down for emails. That's a good idea. That's from Wesley. Wesley says, I could try to count the F-bombs, but I'm like the kind of person that doesn't hear fucks.
Oh,
Wesley, which is my problem too. Like,
which is, I was
Yeah.
born. I didn't hear fuck.
yeah. Like, I don't even know. Did we say that already?
Like,
Fuck?
I
Did we drop
remember
it?
the first words out of my mouth were, Mom, where the fuck's my bottle?
Right. What the fuck is with this place?
Yeah.
When you came crawling out of there.
You're my fucking formula.
Why am I
well, in our house, our mom, every time my mom gave birth, it was like, fuck, another one?
Yeah, fuck.
That was the first thing you'd hear.
And then when I came out, I was like, fuck, Bob, tie it up. Not you, but Dad. Dad's name is Bob, too. It'd be really weird if she asked you to do it. Anyway.
I was what, 9?
Yeah,
So
right. Yeah.
Okay, Mom. I got the doctor's gloves on, the mask,
And the torch.
having a seizure. Because I was having seizures back
And
then.
the blow.
Secrets revealed.
Yeah.
Secrets revealed.
Yeah, that ain't no powdered milk.
Oh my God, I don't even know what's
I'm
going
talking
on.
about.
I don't even know what's going on. He's having his own conversation.
No, that too, but I just mean all of it.
Yeah, you can edit it out and post later.
No, there's no way. It would be just like 5 minutes missing
I'm
from
trying
the
to
show.
trick you into thinking that.
No,
so
that's
that
not
we
gonna
can just move on.
That's why I stopped editing, because there's no safe way to edit out anything.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's just layers. It's just everybody talking on top of each other and like non sequitur city.
Hey, this is good shit here. We got one hell of a fucking show for you.
Do we?
Yeah.
Again?
Really?
What number is this?
Who's this guy? This is Uncle Gray, right?
Oh, you see? He's ranking on my beard.
Yeah, a little
He's
bit.
ranking on the beard.
Well, this is looking a little Santa-ish.
Really?
Well, as the second oldest at this table,
Right.
fuck
I'm
yeah.
the oldest, and I'm saying that.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so kids.
If Bob grew out his beard, it would be like mine.
Oh, I think so, to some degree. You know what I mean?
There's
Yeah.
salt and pepper in there.
I have hardly anything on the side of my head.
Yeah, he gets it like I do. Like you see, like mine comes in all
Oh,
patchy.
the
no,
patchy?
I
Yeah.
get- no, I
you have
mean-
like a Michael Parade
I'm
beard.
talking about like my hair right now. I
Right.
don't have a whole lot of gray in my hair for being 51.
Sure.
So I'm not going to have a whole lot of gray in my beard.
Right. Well, I
Like
mean,
growing
you
up.
could say that about Jay too, but you know.
You've seen me walk around here with 7, 8 days, and
Yeah,
it's not all
yeah,
that
yeah.
gray.
It's getting there.
What, Mike, the gray? You're saying that's not enough? In there?
Jesus Christ. No, I was saying that, like he was saying that because I only have some on top, I probably won't have much in my beard.
Yeah.
But I was saying like you're an example of the opposite of that thought.
That's true.
Like you are pretty dark up top and you have a lot in your beard.
That's right.
Oh,
And I can only imagine what either one of your balls
That's
looks
right.
like. It's probably snowy down there already.
Not yet.
Okay, DC TV report, folks. That's a segue.
It's a whole new show.
This year.
There's no gray testicles on that show.
God, I hope not. just, I hope not. Okay, let me go. DC TV report it, folks, every week. Catch our buddy Edward O'Hare over there. I don't care. Bob's like, I got one more.
I just
I just saw the finger.
If it's gonna go off
Yeah.
the rails,
Yeah,
then it might as well just like dive in head first.
absolutely. Like lean into the oncoming train.
No, because Jay came here today with that in mind.
Right.
We knew that the moment he walked in the door.
What about the gray hair?
No, the about the show going off the rails today.
Oh yeah.
So
So here we are.
so if it's gonna go off the rails, I'm just gonna join you and go head first.
Well, consider it mission accomplished.
Yeah, man. There ain't nothing different. It's just go. I'm doing.
I know.
You know what I'm talking about? Where we else got in the notes? What
Don't
we got?
pretend like you can now.
Yeah,
I've been
I
trying to
can.
go through the notes for fucking the first 7 minutes of the show.
Here we go. Leave us a voicemail. Go ahead.
Did that one already.
You did all right.
DC TV report.
Okay.
Catch it every week. Our buddies, Edward O'Hare, Sarah Netzley. That's our sister show. Check them out. They're back in action. Show started up this week. I think they got Flash, Black Lightning, and Titans for sure. Titans started on the DC Universe app. So if you want to know what's going on over there, you can catch all kinds of news, scoops, and reviews. Check them out for sure. They're back in the groove now. Check out The Real Thing on Facebook. That's our buddy Wes Weezer. That's
Owned by who? Who
uh,
owns that territory?
I don't know.
Oh, you're looking at him, brother.
Satan's Balls
That-
Publishing.
that's-
I don't know. What's the name of your media conglomerate?
No, but I like that. I like
Satan's
that.
Balls
Satan's Balls Inc.
Inc.
LLC. The real thing. Little thing.
I thought it was Satan's gray-haired balls.
That's
So,
true.
yeah, well,
That's true.
I like the gray jokes coming in. That's fine.
That's it.
That's all
Pile 'em
fine.
on.
For those who,
That's just gray in general.
well, for those who don't know, Uncle
Yeah.
Jay now has a beard,
Yes.
and I'll get to that in a minute.
I thought we did it
At
already.
the end of the official biz,
Yeah.
I have a little plug.
Well, you decided that.
Well, it's only I'm 2 minutes away.
Well,
you don't
no,
have
no,
to-
I'm gonna finish the real thing. Wes
do that,
Weezer,
do that.
Wes Weezer, a good friend of mine's running things over there with
Yep.
some latest pop culture news.
Yes.
Not just movies, music, video games, movies, whatever you want to talk about. It's a cool place to hang. Join there. It's a great time.
Sure.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Wes, in the
Yes.
same breath.
All right. All right.
We're now
sure?
at
No.
the roll call.
Who we got in the chat room?
We got me. But I don't count.
Right.
Leslie Ryan Gaskins. We got John Zombie John,
Hey-o.
Bauer Fett, and Steph Muniz.
I think I
Hey.
saw John Zombie John today out in the real world.
Oh, yeah?
I believe getting into his vehicle, he may have had a cape on. I hope that if I saw that, he was going to Comic Book Jones. Just saying. Not saying you can't wear a cape wherever you go. But I do believe he had a Superman T-shirt on and a cape. I don't know. I might be wrong. I think Comic-Con was last weekend. So.
Well, once you make a costume,
you gotta rock it.
You gotta rock it.
You gotta rock. I'm proud of this thing. I got you.
Right? Besides, just thinking, hey, I got Comic-Con, so this thing, and I got Halloween in the same month. So
and where'd you see him?
This costume's gonna get some use.
There you go. I was on the way home from work today, and
On the bus.
No. I get a ride home most days from the guy I work with. But
What's his name?
the guy.
All right.
He's just
Is
the
he got a
guy.
name? George? Call him George.
Brian.
Same
I've name
thing.
dropped him here or there.
George Bryan, same name.
Brian George. It's all good. First name, last name. But anyways, no, we were just driving home, and actually he popped the U-turn. Like, as we were popping the K-turn, rather, like in the middle of the street, all of a sudden, we were like really like perpendicular with John. I saw John. I was like, oh shit, there's John Zombie John. He can drive. No, that's not true. I knew that. But I totally know it was him because I've been in his car before. I knew that for sure.
And the cape was hanging off his neck, flapping out the window?
No, it was one of those short capes.
Did he look like Nicolas Cage
he had
coming out of
the,
the car and face off with the cape flying out?
Definitely not.
No? Okay.
He had the Lando Calrissian going on.
Kind of. It was definitely a red cape down to the waist, basically.
Yeah, he was doing
And unless he
Lando.
left the chat room or the chat room is frozen for me, I'm getting no response or reply on this, whether or not this, you know what I mean? So
I think it's frozen for me, too.
Well, he might have it on, and then he's watching TV.
he might be busy saving people. He might not even hear this.
This is true.
He
He does
might-
have a costume.
He might have had to fly out the window
Yes,
to go
yeah.
rescue someone.
He does have a costume. He's trying to put some use on.
He heard a kitten in a tree, and he was like, I got to go get it.
Yes, Bill, I was out in a Superman hoodie with a cape.
Okay.
But I actually did not go to CBJ.
All right.
So he just was going
saving
food shopping.
Oh.
So he went to ShopRite with that.
He was like, I will save on food. Like, not people.
I'm gonna fly through the aisles.
Right.
He was at the New York City Comic Con.
Nice, he got it
That's
there.
where he got it. So he figured that's like just a Saturday wardrobe.
Right. Well, it's the week anniversary since
Yes.
Comic-Con.
Yes.
And if he gets to the supermarket and there's an old lady beats him to that last rutabaga, he could fly around the building backwards.
Right. Yes, and send it back in
Send
time.
back in time until he can get it first.
And then break her face, I guess. With the rutabaga. I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway, so that was my superhero sighting of the day. I saw a zombie with a cape. But if those kids in the chat room, did we get through everybody?
Yes, I did roll call.
Okay. All right, because I thought I missed a couple there.
Well, Steph Muniz is in there.
Yeah.
And today, I think is the first time she's only one mountain away from us.
She has moved closer.
Yes.
If that's what
Yeah.
she has moved closer. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, Palmer and Steph Muniz,
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know you guys are going to get a visit from Uncle Jay. Soon.
I'm just letting you
I'm
guys know.
driving over there, so I give you enough fucking fair warning.
I just want people to know that I have nothing to do with
Good.
it.
You know what?
And I am speaking. And
I'm
just
defending myself.
Oh, okay. Oh, I find that. Oh, good. All the better. I had just nothing to do with it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And I tried to talk you out of it. All right. I said to you, there was no reason to go in the middle of the night. You don't have to ambush them.
That's what time I'm up.
I'm up at 4. I'm going to leave at 4. What's the problem? I don't understand.
Get
Alrighty.
that coffee on, and don't worry.
That's it.
That's it.
Let's get those kids a chat room game. It's it's a Halloween month. Let's get the festivities started early. Let's make it a horror, kids. That's the game. Anything, movie, TV show, book, whatever you can just kind of switch, make it into a horror. I got examples in there. Jay, you want to read them off?
When Hannibal Met Sally,
Okay.
Harney fucking horror,
Right.
and Skinderella, which is already a porno film, so but it's cute.
Right, but this is
I
the one
like
about somebody
Cinderella.
who fillets.
Just make it a non-horror movie, and make it a horror. Like
Yes,
don't
right.
take Silence of the Lambs and
Right.
get original. you know.
Right. You got to take something that's not a horror movie.
Exactly.
Or a show or an appliance in your house. I don't know. Whatever.
Instead of Old Yeller,
Right,
make it
right.
Old Slasher or something like that.
But better spell it OL apostrophe. Otherwise, we may not get that big.
Like Pee-wee's Slaughterhouse.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Bonus points. Pee-wee's Slaughterhouse 5. Then we'll
Cute.
wonder if it's a sequel, if
Yeah.
it's the 5th, or if it's just totally, you know what I mean? There's layers.
Is it a new beginning?
Right. A new beginning. So layers, people. We love layers. Layers.
Butchers and
We get
broomsticks.
layers.
Butchers and broomsticks.
So with that, I guess we're into the pre-news, which is like Uncle Jay Watch 2018.
Hey, huh?
Oh shit!
You like that?
Parker,
A little update for you.
give me everything you got on this Jay Chickalis.
So,
All the music dropped.
they're making a Joker movie.
Yeah, we've discussed
Yeah.
this.
Oh, I worked more on it
Well,
since we spoke.
since we spoke, and more to come.
Hence my absence last weekend.
There you go.
But two other shows I was fortunate to be on. One's called New Amsterdam, which is a
Nice.
show, another medical show.
Yeah.
Not unlike that Grey's Anatomy and you know
Anything else?
St. Elsewhere.
I see the commercials for it all the time. Basically, the idea is that it's a hospital that does it just to take care of people. Doesn't give a damn if you don't have money.
Finally.
Right.
So this is like St. Elsewhere.
Right. With a more messaging.
Not to Uncle Jay here for his part.
Well, I'm
in
playing
the
a
production.
construction worker. I'm not even part. I'm a guy who walks in the ER.
Are you a guy? Are you a construction worker that's got like a piece of rebar sticking through his eyeball?
No, not
out
at
the
all.
back of his skull.
I'm like just yelling at a doctor, kind of.
Oh yeah.
It's the beginning of a story arc. He'll end up with the rebar in
The
his
thing
head.
about being an extra in those things is the fact that you have to pantomime. You know what I mean?
No real talking in the
No
background.
real talking, so I'm just making believe like I'm yelling at them.
Right.
Tell the producers when they put the rebar in your eyeball there, that to have somebody accidentally use a saw to cut off a piece of it, drop it on your leg and cut that off. Too.
Right.
But I love that you want to be the extra that's moving too much. That gets my attention. Because I don't know what I was watching. Maybe it was Better Call Saul finale. Something. And they were at a restaurant. And it was just like one guy in the background just was like laughing. Like at the other person that he's sitting at the table with. And even though he's fuzzy and blurry, it's like, oh, now I noticed you. Mission accomplished.
But that's
there,
just it.
extra. Well, that's the goal, right?
I'm trying to get noticed.
trying to
That's
get
all.
noticed.
But next Wednesday,
Yeah.
on the Positive ID channel, there's going to be the return, or shall we say, season 2 of a show called Shattered.
Shattered.
And it's basically true crime life stories and reenactments.
life stories.
And I'm playing the detective on there.
And reenactments.
And I'm playing the detective, so I got some lines.
Oh, shit.
So I forget what day it is. You can check it out. Positive ID channel, Wednesday night, Shattered.
So are you going to be the grizzled old the alcoholic detective?
Well, yeah.
I'm too old for this guy?
That's exactly the backstory I have for these 2 lines that I'm about to deliver
These 2 lines.
in this show.
My name is Detective. Go fuck yourself. And
Is one of them? I'm getting too old for this shit, Riggs. Oh wait, wrong movie.
I lost my wife and kids to a serial killer that I choked out on the steps of City Hall.
No, but it's fun to play detective. I got to tell you that. That's cool. I was in a suit and everything.
Try and channel your best Guy Lapointe.
Yeah.
Did you bend down, pick something up off the ground, and
No,
then look up at the camera like, "We got it, Jimmy. We got it."
No, if memory serves, I am actually walking into a car with my partner already in there.
Nice.
And he's going over some files. And I think I say to him, I think we got the guy. Okay?
Perfect.
Okay. And here's a big plug here.
Well, spoiler on that other thing though. But that's spoiler alert on the docu.
I don't count that as a spoiler.
Fair enough.
It's an event.
It doesn't give it away.
That's just
That's true.
yeah,
It doesn't really give it away.
a factoid
Right.
of what I'm doing. But this is big, so I want to tell you guys. And so John, pay close attention. Talking with a guy named Dave Brown who found me on Backstage.
Okay.
And he basically wants me to help him not only act, but co-write a Friday the 13th fan film that he wants to put some serious money in from Kickstarter.
Oh wow.
So the Kickstarter is going to launch maybe the last week of October.
Okay.
So more to come on this, but keep your eyes peeled for it. I'll also post some stuff on Twitter.
Oh, I'm sure.
The real thing, I'll post it there. I'll advertise it here. But it looks good. It's going to take place between Fridays 1 and 2.
Okay.
And there's a little bit of a gap there because Jason's a little boy in the first
That's true.
movie. So by the time 2 comes in, that's when he had the sack over his head with the one hole.
Right, right.
So we're going to deal with that.
Ooh.
And I'm not going to give too much away, but it's about 3 hunters that are in that area.
Nice, nice, nice.
And so that's going to launch, again, last week of October. I'll keep you posted. You want to donate $1 or $2 or whatever you want to do.
Sure.
Just keep the love. If this is in your wheelhouse, you like horror.
Yeah. He seems excited already.
Yeah. And
He's already in.
The tentative title is called The Boy, ... Jason. Not me.
Not me.
Not me.
That's a different kind of horror movie.
Right.
Gotcha.
You know, unlike most of Hollywood's movies, horror has a long-standing as grassroots production.
Oh, yeah.
You know, some of the best horror movies we've ever seen have been those kinds of movies. You know,
Well, it's a very famous genre, and it's always has an audience.
Yeah.
And people, even if they don't like horror, they still tune in because they gotta see it somehow. And this is the month of horror too.
And let's face it, horror is one genre that can be low budget and then nobody cares.
Yeah, I mean, there used to only be 3 genres. It was westerns, horror, and porn. I mean, you know what
exactly.
I mean? And you know, those 3 kept it alive until talkies started. Thank God. All right.
And in the 50s, you got a little swashbuckler.
Yeah, well, you know, pirates came in. They were like, we can shoot on water now. And it's like, all right, cowboys on water. Here we go. You know? So
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll definitely keep us in the loop. And should you be busy, you'll pass on the information here, and we'll pass it on for you. But
things are getting a little exciting. Bill. I'm very, very happy, and I couldn't be more humble by some of the reception by some of the guys.
Sure.
Saying, so thank you all.
Right.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Good things.
Good things.
Until Wicked Theory, the movie, comes out.
Good things.
It's in turnaround, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, is that what happened?
It went straight from development to turnaround. Yeah, it's not.
Skip Bernstein passed.
I think Skip Bernstein. Sure.
Well, I told you, you gotta plug it as the Howard Stern movie.
Yeah.
The modern Howard Stern movie.
Yeah, we got to figure out what that angle is, though. You know, even he bullshitted. He's like, "Oh, it's about my wife." Really, Howard? It's not your life story? Oh, okay. Like, you know, sure. It's all about how much you love your wife. Yeah. Right. All right. So, digging deeper into the news, kids. We got a little bit of Star Wars stuff.
Cash.
Just a touch.
Cash.
Just a touch. But, you know, Jon Favreau is doing this Mandalorian series.
I'm really excited for this thing.
I bet you are. I can see it from here. It's poking up over the table. You're so excited.
Hold on, let me settle my drink somewhere else.
Yeah, you're gonna knock it over with that thing.
Yeah, here we go.
There you go. Tony Turgid.
The director's attached to this too.
Yeah, we got like
Taika Waititi and
not Brie Larson, Dallas Howard.
Bryce Dallas Howard,
Yeah, and a couple other people of serious note. But so this week, because he's going to probably be doing teaser pictures now, photos on his Instagram. So last week or the week before, that same time that list came out, he did a little shot of
Mandalorians.
Yeah, one of the Randalorian. We'll
Mandalorian.
Well, random Mandalorian.
A random Rando-Mando.
Right, there you go. Rando-Mando. That's probably the character's name.
Right. Is Bower Fett in the audience? Yeah,
I think he's in there. Bower Fett. Oh, by the way, big props to Bower Fett. He's supporting us over on the Patreon.
Rock and roll, Bower Fett.
Thanks for the support, buddy. We appreciate that for real.
Yeah, get your buddies Boba and Django.
Yeah, let's get the rest of the Fett family up in this piece.
I bet you me and Bower Fett are the only 2 people who know who Fen Scheisse is.
It's probably true.
Because they're tight.
Exactly.
Yeah, really. You know what I mean? I might have went to school with that kid, though.
Yeah. Mandalorian from the Marvel comic book days.
Ain't he from Williamsburg?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably where he is now.
That's when Marvel comic books was doing a lot of crazy stuff with Star Wars.
Back
so
in the
out of nowhere, there's like an Irish guy saying stuff.
Yeah. They basically were just like, we can make up what we want? Okay. There's a dog in it. Oh, whatever. But that's basically it. Okay, there's a puppet. No, but like not like a real puppet. Like Luke has a hobby now. He's going to be a comedian. Anyway, Jon Favreau doing the show. And so he put out this thing. It was another picture, but this time it was a prop. And does the name Wilrod Hood, or let me see. I don't want to get it wrong here. Yeah, Wilro Hood. Is that a familiar Star Wars character name for you?
Wilrod Hood?
Wilro.
Wilro Hood.
Yeah. So it's one of these fleeting characters. in Empire Strikes Back. Basically, like during like the commotion aboard the Death Star, this guy runs by holding some random thing. And
oh, wait a minute. I see the picture now. Yes,
right.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
an ice maker thing
Yeah.
that was gussied up to look like some kind of, doodad component or whatever,
Yeah.
because that's what you did back then. And then, so it's kind of built up a legend of its own. I didn't realize this. But so that's the item in question everybody's figuring is like what this picture is of that he's posted here. Oh, it looks like that thing. And turns out, like, I didn't know this, but there's a big kind of like following and people who like love this character or kind of become smallly obsessed with him. And so at the conventions, here on this Bleeding Cool article about this, there's a video clip of like 70 people dressed up as this guy.
Yeah.
And it's called The Running of the Hoods. And basically it's like 70 people in a bright orange jumpsuit, each of them carrying their own ice maker looking thing.
Well, I remember...
Or ice cream maker, I should say.
I remember seeing people running with it in Empire.
Right.
That's what I know it from. I didn't know it was called a Wilrow Hood.
Right. Well, that's the character's name.
Yeah, that I didn't know.
Right. Like that's one of those characters. Like I'm not surprised he's got a name because Lucas went out of his way to give every single person a name because like he's like, oh, that could be a toy too.
Like Panda Baba?
Yeah, and he'll just basically burp and like that's the character's name.
Or the Gonk droid because it says Gonk.
Right. He'll pick a first name, alter it, or leave it totally, and then look around the room.
Yeah, we take a name and then read it backwards.
Read it backwards or chop off the first half.
Yeah.
Or look at his dinner plate.
Right. You know what I mean? Because like someone caught up that like most of the Darths to a certain point, you could put in on the front of them, like Darth Vader, Invader, Insidious,
Right.
and there's a couple other ones like so like people have decoded the Lucas the Lucas brand trick, but I didn't know anything about this character. Like, never noticed it.
Yeah, I knew the character. I just don't know that it was called that.
Yeah. I didn't know his name. I didn't even recognize that this was a thing like that even happened in the movie. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not one of those guys, I guess, who studied it so much where it's like, oh, that guy during the evacuation.
Right.
Okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
But totally not surprised that there's
absolutely.
obsessives out there who this turns into a thing. So basically, these 70 people in this video, it's called Running of the Hoods if you want to watch it real quick. But it's 70 of them just running through the convention, and that's the bit. Like they have to run everywhere.
Right.
So if they get caught up with traffic, they kind of like stomp walk like a military unit a little bit, like, and they chant stuff like "Save the ice cream," "Save the ice cream," these kinds of things. So it's very silly.
I'm sure Bauer knows it.
Yeah, Bauer is probably in that group somewhere. That's what I'm
Bauer
thinking.
just chimed in here. He's the blender guy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep, they made a figure of it too.
See, and that explains it all. That's what really cements the fandom. Is that you made a toy of it? It must be
Of course.
important.
Well, they made a toy out of Ralph McQuarrie sketches.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
You know what I'm
There's
saying?
alternate versions of a thing that you never
Right.
saw.
So cool, very cool. I'm
not-
excited.
I'm actually surprised Lucas didn't actually see Clerks and go, hey, there was construction crews on there. They need toys
You know
too.
what? He's right. Just a memorial playset.
There you go.
So yeah. So that's that one. Keep your eye out for Favreau. I guess he'll be leaking stuff out as he films. And then over to you, Jay. Catching us up a little bit with a couple of things.
Well, Suicide Squad got a whole lot more interesting.
Well, Suicide Squad. No, Suicide Squad 2.
Well, I'm just saying the
I just
legend
wanted-
of Suicide Squad.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I just love trying to say it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
could barely even get
Suicide
it out.
Squad.
Squad.
Look, I mean, there's people out there that hated Suicide Squad. There's people that can take or leave it.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. I'm not the biggest Will Smith fan.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like some things he does.
Yeah.
I thought he might have been a little miscast for.
He just didn't wow. He just didn't wow me in it. It felt like you could have put anybody in that movie, in any one of those characters, and it would have been just as good.
Well,
But
wasn't he kind of, his casting kind of like done after the fact anyway?
Well, even still, like he should have been the big deal. He should have been the interesting character. You know what I mean? So even if it was late to the game,
Right.
he wasn't bringing it.
Well, Warner Brothers and DC
Yeah.
said, "All right, Marvel, you don't want James Gunn. We want James Gunn." And it looks like this is solid. He's been hired to write Suicide Squad 2.
Smartest thing Warner Brothers has done
So far.
with superheroes in years.
So now it kind of almost looks like this is like the cement that will bring a little bit more order to that universe.
One can only hope, man.
Because that reeks of his kind of humor and
Absolutely.
characters.
It's a team of it's a ragtag team of fucking scoundrels and ruffians. You know, it's Guardians with a little bit more edge if it's done right.
Right.
You know what I mean? If they let him put that much edge onto it.
And I'm sure they knew that.
Yeah.
Going in and asking him, and I'm sure they just backed up the truck.
Yeah, I'm sure the pitch meeting, you know, they're not letting him just take it without knowing what he might do with it. I'm sure he pitched to them, you know.
And I'm thinking that maybe it's only a matter of time before he's named director for it.
Yeah. It's like, you know, someone put a tweet out like, wow, DC goes out of their way to hire the guy to make the sequel to the movie that they tried to make. Like the movie that he made.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's a crazy turnaround because it seems like there's a certain kind of personality they try to put onto Suicide Squad.
Right.
That feels of that wheelhouse as it is. So yeah, it's a perfect fit. Perfect fit.
Brilliant thing to do. And
Yeah.
they don't even have to freaking worry about this movie now.
No.
They can just let him go and do
Well,
it.
as long as they let him direct, you know.
Yeah, really. I mean, look at the guy's stuff when he had no money.
Right. Yeah.
And he was doing great stuff then.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So,
Romeo and Juliet.
really.
Yeah.
So let him go, man.
Let him go. So speaking of letting him go.
Yeah, man. We lost Herschel, man.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Well, you have to let something else go?
Iron Fist. No, but I know you had Scott Wilson in there, so I'll let you take that.
Well, yeah. Speaking of Iron Fist,
Yeah.
Scott Wilson.
A true man. If ever there was an Iron Fist, it was this old dude.
Now, Scott Wilson, man, first of all, has just been an actor for
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
I don't know if you ever saw In Cold Blood, but that's a great fucking
No, it
movie.
is good. It is good. I forget what I had known him from when I saw him on Walking Dead, but when I saw him there, I was like, oh, they got that guy.
Well, he's been
A
a
character
constant
actor, right?
Character actor since the 60s. You know, I mean, he was in Exorcist 3. He's in The Ninth Configuration.
I think
he's
he
in The Right Stuff.
I think he might have popped up on a TV series somewhere
yeah.
right before Walking Dead, and I knew him from that. Like, he might have had a guest role on an episode or a couple episodes or something like that.
But he's always, like, you'll always see him in places.
Yeah,
He pops up, and he was a really good actor.
Yeah.
Got a chance to meet him at Chiller Theater. Got his
Okay.
autograph, you know,
Right,
because
right.
he really brought some really good merit to the Walking Dead series. He was
sure.
a perfect Herschel.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, you know, 2, 3, and 4, I think, were the seasons he was in.
Right.
And
that
he's
sounds about
always
right.
just
Yeah.
there. So, you know, we say goodbye to him. He was 76.
76.
Rest in peace.
Good year.
Godspeed, Chiefy.
Chiefy.
And that's going to do the news for me.
And then Iron Fist got canceled.
Yeah.
Me and Bob cried. We held each other.
I was actually a little surprised after this last season.
I was too, kind of.
You know, I mean, after the first season, I would not have said a word.
No. Yeah. It felt like the story rebounded. I guess just not enough people came out and watched it after the shit show that was season 1.
Yeah.
And, you know,
They did. They really put forth a serious effort this
Yeah.
past season, so I was very surprised. But you know, ratings are ratings, and it wasn't getting it. So
yeah.
but it's probably not going to be dead because it's probably going to come back in some form or another. The franchise,
Or the
the
characters
property,
at least.
yeah, the property over at Disney. They already have plans for something over there, I think.
Yeah, they're building stuff there. And I kind of wonder if, like, you know, sure, like, we may not see them a lot, but why wouldn't we maybe see them pop up on the Netflix shows here or there?
Yeah, I'm sure that's
know?
part of their contract to begin with.
You know, that's like one of the first things I would say before it's like, oh, because they're talking those articles is immediately going to, and it's always a potential that it could jump to the Disney service that Marvel's going to launch that's already going to have like a Loki and like Scarlet Witch show. So why maybe it'll end up there? And I'm like, well, it doesn't mean you still can't get Heroes for Hire on Netflix to some degree. You know what I mean?
Right.
At some point. You know, maybe not the next season of Luke Cage because they're obviously lining up a whole different thing with that.
Yeah,
But
but-
after that, you know, who's
Yeah.
to say? It's just cameos. I mean, they're still in the city. It's still the same 4-block radius for all these fucking shows. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, so, yeah,
Like, they
that stuff
have
would
to
be
bump
fine,
into
yeah.
each other.
Yeah, the
you
only
know?
thing that might stop it is if Disney decides that they want to make sure that there's a separation going on
Oh, sure. Yeah.
with this move over to Disney, because I'm sure
Yeah.
that anything that wasn't actually in a concrete contract with Netflix and just left as, well, we'll revisit when we revisit contract talks for shows.
Right.
You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
For so now maybe there's that gray area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Sure.
that-
It's like, well, what do we want to do with this guy now? You know.
I think maybe
Mm.
just just a guess,
Yeah.
but they can probably bring him into Luke Cage
Well, that's what I'm saying.
and
Like,
make that the team up.
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that like, you know, who's to say you still couldn't have cameos there?
Right.
Like, you know,
Defenders, isn't that getting another?
I don't know. Like,
And-
I don't know if that.
yeah,
they're
it doesn't
very good.
mean we won't necessarily get a one-off special or like a 4-episode thing of Danny Rand
Yeah.
and Iron, as Iron Fist,
Yeah.
and
Netflix has
and,
done that.
and Nick Cage, because they did have their own comic book for a while.
Well, not only that, but Netflix has done that kind of stuff before with certain series that like were dead but didn't finish. But there was a fan swell, like, oh, let them
Right.
let them tie up loose ends, and so like a couple of their own shows, they've given like, all right, well, here's 4 episodes to wrap it up, or stuff like that. So who's to say? Bob's got a point. Like, who's to say they couldn't do a Heroes for Hire 4-episode short thing, or
Right.
in
Or-
any way,
or-
shape, or
yeah.
form.
Yeah. So.
Defenders didn't do well.
I don't know. I just feel like the buzz wasn't there. Like, I don't know. Like, because here's the thing. Netflix is like super tight with its numbers. And so you can only go by presumptions of how they react to shows and what they do in the moments. Like, Punisher got a season 2 renewal like within the first week it was out. Season 1 of Iron Fist got the same thing. Like, you know what I mean? So if something is gangbusters, they're like willing to be like right away and let the fan base know you're getting more. You know what I mean? Whereas with other shows, sometimes it has to sit there for a while. But the problem with Defenders is that Defenders was a scheduling nightmare because they were they had to strategically drop that in the middle of a point where Daredevil could get delayed a little bit. Because all these actors have to be in this show for 8 episodes, it delays every one of those other shows from going into production. So since Daredevil was the next one up, like that's kind of why like it tied in probably so much to Daredevil. It was like, Daredevil will have to wait a little bit, but here's,
Well, I was looking forward to portraying Floyd Garber, the guy that I play on
oh right,
Daredevil, Punisher, and Jessica Jones.
That's correct. Yeah, Floyd.
Floyd Garber has got no room in the Iron Fist world, I guess.
Well, he's got a criminal record. I'll say that.
Yeah, but you could still pop up because he's someone in that neighborhood.
Yep.
Floyd Garber.
Remember it now, kids. Because you'll never hear it officially, unless things change. If we can get a letter writing campaign going when the time comes. Not yet, but when the time comes.
Or some Twitter fanatical Marvel nerd goes, hey, I know who that is. I know who that's supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's
Wait
Floyd
till
Garber."
people start putting the whole Stan Lee thing with you. Is this guy a watcher? Maybe he keeps popping up.
Yeah.
He keeps popping up.
Spider-Man sequel's
Maybe that'll
coming.
get him in a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Sitting there next to Stan Lee or something like that.
Well, at the rate he's going,
Floyd Garber.
Floyd Garber crossing multiverses even. All right. When you think about it, he'll work for anybody.
You can't wait for those.
I can't wait for any of it to drop. I only got to wait another week.
Right there,
really?
right there,
Really?
19th
Yeah.
for Daredevil
Oh shit.
next week. So
What episode are you in that?
I honestly don't know.
you don't recall it, right?
I don't. I can tell you probably because Jessica Jones.
Well, that was like recent.
That's not coming
No,
till
because that was
next
really
year.
recent. That was like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
you
that was
did
a few weeks ago. Yeah.
We'll try to keep these all straight in your head, so when they start coming up, we can ask you what episode.
Well, he's been better
If you-
with some of it.
If you know, because sometimes you're just not even going to know. You're not going to be there for the clip.
Right.
They're not going to tell you. So
That's if.
you know what I mean?
That's true. You could get cut out.
Yeah.
Who's to say? You know.
Right.
They
I'm
could-
like that guy's jacket.
We're cutting the whole scene because of this guy who walks by in the back. Fuck this whole story point and the whole plot and everything. This fucking ham.
No, but wait, or it could go the other way. They say, wait, we got to expand the scene so we can include that guy.
This is fucking Gary Farber. What was the fucking name?
Floyd Garber.
Floyd Garber. Fucking the man of mystery in the Marvel universe. We should pay somebody, like one of those fucking YouTube clowns. Who
I'm not
makes
going to
it-
tell anybody nothing. I'm going to let them find me.
No. But wouldn't it be great, like, if somebody fucking put together that video though, and they were like legit? And what's with this character? he's in this episode here, and he's in this episode there, and I've got a theory to tell you all about it. Like, you know, the whole intro that they do.
We got to get on that and start building that. So there's like
just make a fake one. Just to make one and lean right into it.
Build some mystery around Jay.
I would die
back
laughing
to the show.
if somebody did that.
Did it in earnest.
This way I could
did it in earnest.
This way
like
I
they
could
meant it.
contact them and say, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
See, I need my fucking SAG membership. I'm developing a following. All right. And then in the last bit of news, it's just a heads up. Hey, Coogler signed on. He's going to direct Black Panther 2, as if he wouldn't. But I guess they just had to kind of work out the
Yeah, that should be a
story.
no-brainer from Marvel's point of view. So,
I'm sure it was just about story points and signing a check. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
What's
nice,
it going to
a
be?
nice big one.
And then
It's like, so how many
much-
zeros you want this time?
yeah, I mean,
Well, I know.
all the zeros, I guess.
Yeah. How much
all,
on the back end?
all of it.
Well, I know Oscar Buzz is going into severe high gear now.
Sure.
And his name is getting mentioned for Black Panther, as is
Yeah.
the picture.
Yeah,
Disney,
sure.
Yeah, Disney is making a big push for that movie, and the superhero movies in general to start getting more recognition from the Academy.
Well, I mean, they should, because not for
Yeah.
nothing, it's half their fucking output. Separate from even recognizing the genre for its merits, I just mean like as a company, like you would do the same thing for anything else you put out that you felt was of merit, and you know these are high quality for what they are.
No.
So back them as much as you would anything else.
No, these people just need to get off their high horse enough to be able to see the movies for the type of movie that each one of them is.
Right.
You know, because not each one of them is the exact same kind of movie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're kind of subgenred.
Because I can
Well,
see
no,
it.
it's like when you see like Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah.
That's not.
It's like a Cold War. It's like
Yeah,
Manchurian
that-
Candidate.
right.
Right. That's what I mean by subgenre. Like each one's got their own kind of subgenre tone to it. Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like a horror movie. Some like Ant-Man's a family movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like a family comedy. You know? And yeah, right. Yeah.
If they just saw them for the types of movie
Right,
that
yeah.
they are.
Right, that's
the
what I'm saying,
movies that
yeah.
are they're built to that were influenced.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That were motivation to make this movie. They might actually be able to see what it really is.
Right.
See it for what it really is.
Sure.
Well, for my money, I think Civil War, for me,
Yeah.
it's like a perfect comic book film.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Done right, that I thought should have had some recognition. But I can actually touch Black Panther even just winning.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I can see it happening just by, what's going on and,
Current climates and stuff like that.
like easily.
It just depends on what it ends up being up against. You know.
Well, there's a lot of
and that goes for
shit.
any movie, obviously, or any competition.
Yeah.
But
Right.
that almost goes without saying. It depends. That's a really stupid
And
bonehead thing to say.
let's be real too. This was a movie that was like 99% all black people, and if they was to get snubbed after such a huge push,
Yeah.
there's some people might take it the wrong way.
Yeah. I think there'd be a lot of unhappy people.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know, because it is a great movie. It does deserve
Yeah.
some recognition.
Yeah.
And something more than the usual.
Yeah.
Special effects stuff. you know,
Right.
that
The
kind of
service
crap.
kind of like, oh, hey, here's
Yeah.
your thing. Yeah. A
Yeah.
little pat on the head and that those kinds of movies get. You
Right.
know.
No.
So, all right. How we doing?
We're rocking,
We're
brother.
doing good. What time is it?
45 minutes in.
Wow.
Told you things are going to be fine.
Burning through it.
I
I felt like we were padding a lot.
Yeah.
Not bad. I'm fine. Everything's
No one
fine.
asked you
My
if you were
drink-
fine.
There's three
No
people
one
here.
asked you your opinion.
3 people are here.
And Jay is 2.
He gets 2 votes.
Right.
I guess. I don't know.
He talks enough for 2.
Yeah, right. So, all right. Well, you know what? Let's see if is the chat room game still going? I think it's done, right? It's over, right? Oh no, we got one more in just now. That newest one from John Zombie John's gonna be the last one, and we're gonna fucking roll through these. How about that? All right, I'm calling it for once. I feel like we got a good list. All right,
The Floyd Garber Chronicles?
that's a podcast you're starting. I guess, or is that like a comic you're gonna write? At the very least, they can let you write your own comic, right? And is that his mutant power? Is that his special secret superpowers? To like to hide and blend into the background of anything and go unnoticed. It's one of those kinds of
He's a
things,
serial killer.
right?
Keeps getting caught.
Keeps Constantly getting caught, but never for the murder.
Never.
Never
No,
for the
no,
murder.
no,
That's
no.
the thing. It's always like he thinks he's about to be the murderer, and they're like, "Oh, you've been lifting your neighbor's newspaper. We have to bring you
Or
in."
moving violation.
And it's like every episode, every issue.
Indeed. Indeed.
All right, I had to get that out of me.
All right, what do we got? What do
So
we got?
this was Make It Horror. Make It Horror. Movies, TVs, books, anything. Make it a horror. So we got the Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of the Dead. Dude, Where's My Zombie?
Okay, I like both of those.
Lord of the Thing.
Cute.
Fantastic Freddy.
Hey, Don Torian, is he?
Oh! We got 21 Elm Street.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. That's really good. Fright Night Lights.
Fright Night Lights.
Fright Night Lights. That's good. Leatherface and Shirley. I want Freddy and Leatherface to be Squiggy and the other guy.
You see, Steph is on our soil now. You know what
That's
I mean?
it, that's
She's
it.
in our time zone.
That's it. She's in the clock with us.
That's it.
All right, next one here. 3 Men and a Monster.
Cute.
The Hills Have Eyes and The Sound of Music. There's another one here. Or the Hills Are Evil Dead Alive with The Sound of Music.
Look at Agent Palmer fucking
coming in there, right? Suicide Monster Squad. Freddy and the Cruisers. Jay was waiting for me to drop that so hard.
Like Eddie and the
Freddy and the perfect.
I think that's the epitome
That's
of
the
what we were
winner.
going for.
So far. Michael Myers in Austin Powers and The Spy Who Shagged Me.
cute.
So a lot of that. Star Wars: The Phantom of the Opera Menace. My Fair Zombie. Saw and Order.
That's good.
Frozen Lake Placid.
Cute.
The Great British Blob Off. Sounds sticky. Walking Dead, Texas Rangers. God Dead Liked Me. Because I guess God friended me or something like that. Dead Like Me was a show, right? I think, yeah.
Did
Anyway.
like me, yeah.
So, Slither When Wet.
Ooh.
The Undead Place. My Little Jaws. Stand in Deliverance.
And I put my guitar down.
Which is like, I guess that is a horror movie. I guess Deliverance is kind of a horror movie. Night of the Living Single, which I think that's funny. Stand by Pinhead.
Cute.
Nightmare on 21 Jump Street. Fantastic Beast and Where to Hide from Them, which is a good idea. Old Man Cujo. Which I'm not sure how that works, but it's got ring to it.
He's senile, so you don't really know if he's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
attack
true,
you.
that's true.
He's
He's just-
rabid, but he's senile.
He's just barking and biting.
That's fucking great.
He's just gnashing at the air.
He's got the foaming mouth, and
Yeah,
he's
he's
running into the walls.
He's nowhere near the car. Right.
He's like attacking the mirror.
Ant-Man and the Mothman Prophecy. And the last one in here,
Old Man Cujo warmed me up for that one.
Hannibal and Cash. Thanks for playing, everybody.
Freddy the Cruiser.
Freddy and the Cruisers was a big hit. And 21 Elm Street got us early. Oh, man.
Old man
Freddy and the Cruisers might have been one of the funniest ones in a while. That's so spot on.
They got the claws, the claw hands shaped stage. You know, they're all dressed with the shirt
And I can,
and the messed up hat.
and you know, on the dark side makes a little bit more sense now too. That song maybe recontextual.
dark side.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't see him hitting a lot of those notes, and there's barely even notes in that song. Freddy Krueger singing the dark side.
That's it. I want to be Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, you know.
Singer.
I mean, if
Dark
anybody,
side's coming.
right?
Nothing is real. How sweet, fresh meat.
All
Pete
right.
Steele.
Fucking doing radio stuff now. Yeah. So thanks for listening. I can't really top that. We had a lot of laughs. But we'll jump into the meanwhiles, I guess. I don't really have anything this week, but Jay's got a couple of movies, so we'll jump over there real quick.
Well, I'm still plowing through NCIS.
No, thank God. You can just keep that to yourself.
Not a fan, huh?
Not a fan, and I could think it's one of those things. It's like, you know.
It is kind of, you know, but sometimes it's like, okay, that's a stupid '80s movie.
Right.
You know,
you're waiting a while for one cool thing. You know,
it's got a lot of like plot points that are planted that are stretched over a season or two,
and they pay off pretty well.
And then there's ones that go for like 6 or 7 episodes.
Okay.
And so you kind of get caught up in that kind of thing. I mean, but it's still a CBS show, and it's still like one episode I was watching. They go around the corner, they're chasing the dude in the car. And
you were shaking, so it was kind of, I could hear the rattle.
He goes around the corner first, and then they can't find him. They go around the corner, they can't find him. It turns up he's behind them. So now he's chasing them, and they're shooting at them, right? So now, how do they get out of this? Dude, who doesn't normally drive this car, decides, all right, here, this is how we're gonna do this. He decides he's gonna like do a donut right there. In the middle of the chase, and the car stops in the middle of the chase, and just spins like this in a circle, in a perfect circle,
perfect donut type,
perfect donut, like it was like spinning in place on a pole.
Yeah,
right. And the other guy turns around as the car's spinning, and now the other guy's passing, and he's like,
all of a sudden it turned into like gun fu. They were doing some gun fu and shit.
And he kills the guy in the car, but then as they cut to the car, which is now gonna hit the proverbial construction truck.
Oh, sure.
Right. You happen to see the front of the car, and it doesn't have any bullet holes.
No, of course not. Right.
I was like, I rewound it like 4 times. I was like, oh yeah, that's
that was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I caught that in a split second. That's funny.
But it's got those moments. But.
All right, so Bob's enjoying the archive for NC.
Yes, Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. That's the one with
everybody.
Tone Loc in it, right?
No. Close. Hello.
And every week he starts it up with, "Yeah, man, this is some funky Cole Medina."
Funky Cole Medina.
It's actually LL Cool J. So every week it starts with Mama said, knock you out.
Right. That's how they should start every one of them. Like how they used to do that on the other one, and everybody made fun of it. It turned into a meme because he'd be fucking like, "Oh, this is some really messed up shit." Like he'd have a pun, put on his sunglasses, and then the Who song would kick in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that turned into a meme.
CSI Miami.
The CSI.
So it would just be great if like every episode of that one started with LL, turn around and be like, "Well, you know what my mama always said." And then it was just something different every time. Like, never count your chickens before they hatched.
Right. Instead of Mama said knock you out.
Right.
Yeah! And then it goes into a Who song.
Right. Then it goes into a Who song. You know what my mama always said.
I want my life to start like that. I'll say something and then you hear Roger Daltrey. Yeah!
I think like SNL or Mad TV, I think someone's got that bit where it's like every time he says something, everywhere he goes, or something like that,
I wish I could have.
I know Family Guy. They did a bit.
Is that what it is? Family Guy.
Where he had like he made a wish to have theme music wherever he went.
Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah. I knew I saw it somewhere.
I kind of wish I saw like Roger Daltrey when he was doing like a Christmas Carol, because he was playing Ebenezer Scrooge.
Okay.
But do you think like he just yelled through it? Bah humbug! Yeah.
And then someone playing a big guitar whirlwind arm.
Back in that days, all of like 12 things were made in England that actually made it outside of England at the television at that time.
Yeah, it was few and far between.
So there was not a whole lot of British people working in the acting
well, he's
industry.
He's
I'm sure
a
he was
decent
trying
actor,
to work.
actually.
No, he was always trying to.
He was always trying to make people recognize his acting skill.
Because he was.
Oh, that's Roger Daltrey, and he's on the TV.
Yeah,
show.
he was. He's done a few.
He was in Highlander. I remember he was on a recurring role.
We don't have to talk about
Oh, you don't like Adrian Paul?
Not the TV show.
And his studio line from L'Oreal here.
We grew up with the TV show on.
Please. You know how we mentioned our mother and Charles Bronson? Adrian Paul was another one.
Yes.
Oh, she loved him?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my ex-girlfriend was in love with him, too.
Yeah, well, he's a looker, And he's got an accent.
With gel.
Well, yeah, I mean,
he always came out, he looks like he came out of the shower.
Yeah, well.
And he's the one, too.
There can only be.
There can only be.
There can only be 7.
But every week there's got to be at least 2, because otherwise he's got nothing to do. Then that's the problem.
Right.
Look, Richard Mole
That's how
was the one.
That's how they
time.
should have pitched the show. The movie was, there can be only 2, but every week there's there's at least 2. Right. There can only be 1, but at least there's always at least.
You're
2.
not a
On this giant planet,
like
there's
it.
only
I
a
like it.
handful of them, and they happen to run into you every week.
I feel like Highlander is one of those things where it's like a great concept, but like they kind of they mucked with it too much. First one's great, standalone, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
I agree.
And
then-
everything gets murky after that. The show was probably pretty decent as a show goes, but I couldn't really give a lot of time to it after a while. It just felt like too syndicated, low budgety, cheesy a little bit.
Yes.
Well, the thing is that nothing really makes sense after that first film. Because
Well, yeah,
he
well,
was
that's
the
what I mean.
one left, and he got that prize.
Like, boom, we're done here.
And then all of a sudden,
Right.
then they're aliens, and then Mario Van Peebles walked in at one point. and
Right,
everything.
right.
But the only thing I'll say is this: I didn't really watch the show when it came out.
Right.
I caught it in syndication
Sure.
later. But the fourth film that they did, where they had the both of them together,
Okay.
that's actually a very good
Highlander Generations.
Endgame, it was called.
Sure.
But there is a
Next
movie
generation.
called there's a movie called Generations, and every fucking
That's what I mean. Like, if it's not called
Generations.
that, you could just call it that. Like,
Yeah, Highlander Voyager.
Right, exactly. Yeah! There can be only one. There should have been only one.
Highlander.
One movie. So anyway,
Yeah.
Jay, speaking of movies, you saw a couple of movies.
I did.
You saw Venom.
Oh, yes, I did.
What'd you think?
It's all right.
Okay. You saw a Star. You saw a Star Wars Born.
No, Venom. Real quick. This could have been easily terrible.
Right.
And the thing is, this is of course the first film that's taken a supervillain and making it the
core character.
The core character. The problem is, Avi Arad, a name from Marvel past.
Yeah, he tends
is
to haunt.
still-
He tends to haunt these things.
So the thing is this:
Even if he's not involved, because I think he's just a name on paper now.
yeah,
I think he's removed from the process. I think
to me, I'll tell you what I think misses the point
on this one.
on this one is behind the scenes.
Okay.
I think that you should have made this a Marvel Studio film, and you should have made it tie into the world a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
This way you have something to lean on, because at certain points here, it's almost as if like they're trying to make Venom the good guy.
Well, that's what I always thought was going to be the problem, because that's the thing with the comics is that, like, he comes in as a bad guy, but everybody loved him so much they tried to Wolverine him,
Right.
Which is like, let's make him the anti-hero, like a Punisher or a Wolverine or a Ghost Rider, but that means that
Gotta water him down too much.
yeah, because he's crazy and evil,
Right.
Like, you know what I mean, as fuck. And the only way to do that was to make another version of him, which was
It's Carnage, yeah.
right, which was more evil and more crazy, and
a
it's on
serial
him,
killer.
right? And it's on him to stop him, but they tried to fuse that into a horror movie element with this more than they do in the comics. So how back to you, Jim?
No. The things I liked about it was the fact that there's some horror elements here. Tom Hardy's really damn good. He's having fun here. This is the
Right.
first time you're actually seeing him really just go for it and actually be, intelligible with his voice.
It feels like it's a little rough in the trailers, I thought, though, because he sounds like he's trying to stamp his accent down and maybe try and do one at the same time.
He's having fun with it though, Bill. That's what I dug, but it looks like one of those really cool action movies of the '90s, where it's like, oh, this is really good. It's
Yeah.
getting into some sci-fi stuff, it's getting into some horror stuff.
Right.
Venom looks really good. Here and there. It's just that it sucks because I was kind of waiting for at least a segment of Spider-Man to come in.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Is there a Spider-Man cameo at all?
no.
He doesn't swing in.
He
No.
doesn't swing in. He doesn't
Yeah,
go
a couple
behind a
people-
bus or nothing.
People were kind of holding that maybe this would be a Marvel Studio film at the end of the day.
I feel like the thing is that, like, Sony should have said, look, we got to put him in the background. He's got to swing by the fucking moon in the distance off a building
Or a Peter Parker
something.
cameo.
I figured at the very least, you do it in the last frame. Venom's on top of a building, looking over the city. Parker swings by. Maybe he just kind of looks at him and smiles,
Right.
and that's it. Cut to black. Like, you don't have to serve anything up.
The
You know
thing
what I
is,
mean?
is
But-
like, I can't deny the fact that I had a good time here. You know
right,
what I mean?
that's what I heard too. It's
And
it's not perfect, but it's fun in that '80s kind of action movie
Right,
way.
yeah, like a '90s kind of a thing.
No, fair enough.
And I can't deny the fact that it's also way better than Spider-Man 3 and what they did there.
Sure,
which
that
was
version,
a
yeah.
bastardization of Venom.
Yeah.
Here they get the points correct. I think it looked cool. Tom Hardy's cool. You get a hint of Carnage.
Okay.
coming soon. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is the guy that did
you
Zombie.
almost have to have that, I think. Sorry.
What was that?
Well, a hint of carnage.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? You almost have to have that.
Well, there's the sub credit scene
Yeah.
is
Deals with
the
some of
hint
that.
of carnage. I don't know if you want me to.
Don't have to get
give
any
it-
more
no, no.
specific. I think that's good enough to tell people.
But Ruben Fleischer directed this. He's the guy that did Zombieland, and I was a big fan of that. You know what I mean? So he
Right.
wasn't afraid to touch in on some horrific stuff, but it's very science fiction-y too, dealing with
well,
medical science and
alien
what's going
shit.
on. And
Right.
I
That brings up a point I was going to get to. I wanted to ask. Does it remind you anything? As a big Alien and Predator fan, does it have any of that in there?
a little bit. I mean, it's kind of like they deal with the symbiotes. They explain a lot of it. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So I have to say that they really did kind of care for the script.
Right, they were
to
trying.
make it.
Okay.
To me, the dropping of the ball is to not make this a Marvel Studios film, because at least then you can say, all right, well, that would be cool if they brought him into Avengers, or they brought
Right.
him into this or that, or even to have Peter Parker just have an appearance. So again, it's kind of sad in that respect.
Yeah.
But this isn't a terrible film. You should go see it. It's fun. It's not great,
Yeah.
but it's a Venom movie, and you get to see see Venom.
And not for nothing, Palmer in there is like, hey, thanks for the spoils. But you know what I want to say? It's just that, like, I feel like I kind of needed to know those things too to make up my mind on whether or not I was going to go see it.
Right.
It's like, how deep does that go? Those kinds of aspects of whether or not Spider-Man's in it, whether or not there's anything about Carnage in it. You know what I mean? Because then I know what I'm in for, and I'm not waiting for it in a particular way. Because I feel like some people are going to this and waiting for there to be a connection. Like people who
Right.
don't follow this stuff, and like I kind of knew there wasn't going to be any Spider-Man in it. That was like my 99%, unless it was being like talked about in a way so it could be a complete surprise. But I had a feeling there would be no shot. But I feel like sometimes with some of them, because I think a lot of people were on the fence about this one.
Well, a small percentage of the fun of going to Marvel movies is to see it tie into other things.
Yeah.
And you're not getting that with this. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I feel like, all right, well, you got Tom Hardy and you kind of got Eddie Brock kind of right here. You know what I mean? It would be a shame that
Yeah.
if you wanted to do Venom's story in a Spider-Man line, you got to redo it all over again.
Yeah.
That is where it's dropping the ball, and it pisses me off. It has nothing to do with the film
Right.
itself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
This is a decent, this
It's a
is a
good-
decent
it's a good
light
movie.
cash for me. It's not an awful film.
Well, we're probably
So-
getting more because it's making crazy money.
It's making
Yeah.
money, and I'm glad and who they got for Carnage. You know what I mean? As they not to spoil that,
Yeah, but it's hinted at. There's a hint. So
there's a hint, and he's perfect.
there you go.
So I'm looking forward to the next one. Bringing it off of pop culture a little bit. I saw Star Was Born.
Well, it's a movie.
It's a film,
Yeah.
mostly loved by Barbara Streisand
Movies are pop
fans.
culture, though. Well, I'm saying movies are pop culture.
But I want to bring Bob in this in a little bit because it touches on music. Anybody's not familiar with this story, this is the fourth time it's been done.
God damn
They
it.
did it once in the 30s. I think it was Janet Gaynor. Then they did it with Judy Garland. But it's probably more famous being a Barbara Streisand and Chris Christopherson.
Yeah, I remember actually being with my mother at the theater watching that.
And that's actually a very good movie. If you haven't
It
seen
actually is. I actually enjoyed it as a kid.
Well, this borrows a lot from that tone because they could have easily taken the music of today, which I don't like.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because Bradley Cooper's character is that southern rock, kind of a rock star.
Yeah, but
So you're getting some decent like rock and roll, and he's kind of fading and he's drunk and everything, and how he finds this woman, brings her on stage, they're singing together, and then somebody automatically, sees her and sees more, and they make her like a Lady Gaga kind of pop star.
Right.
And it's almost like the jealousy and the fusion between that kind of music style and her kind of music style. But there is not a bad performance in this movie across the board. It is really compelling stuff. You're into this. You're into these roles. You're into these characters. And Bradley Cooper did one hell of a job, man. So
Rocket the Raccoon, man.
yeah, I mean,
he's versatile.
so if anybody's interested in seeing just a really good, solid story and a really good film about the music industry and about two, people,
Yeah.
and they really, and it gets heavy. There's some heavy shit in here. You know what I mean? But this is probably the best adaptation of this story.
Yeah, you think
Hands
so?
fucking down. And
Sounds like it was definitely a smartly approached to update it
Oh yeah, man.
so that it's something that younger kids can see, younger people can see and say, oh, and relate to, without coming away from its 70s era roots of the probably what is the most popular version of the story.
Yeah, it wasn't trapped by trying to adapt that.
Right. They didn't just, like, back in the 80s, they would have done, okay, let's just take this and make everybody now. So it's like, you know, rap is hot, let's make everyone rappers, you know, whatever.
Like they tried to make this story very epic back in the Judy Garland days, and people were, you know, like, oh, you know, it's the big musical at the time of the 50s when they were making these big things.
Well, that's the thing. Whenever someone does one of these things, it's current to the times it's from. But, like, you know what I mean? It seems to be.
But Streisand actually, they made it was grounded in reality a little more.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't just a chick flick. It was really, especially in the 70s when there was that classic rock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They hinted at that, and Bradley Cooper just takes that.
Right. Yeah.
And he got the guy that wrote Forrest Gump and Benjamin Button. I forgot who else was attached to it as a writer, but this is a damn good movie. So Sam Elliott bringing it home. Andrew Dice Clay is in it. He's great in it too. Oh, and totally not Andrew Dice Clay, but
I'm sure.
But he's funny and it's great stuff.
Yeah. He's his best when he's not Dice.
And Bradley Cooper's got a hell of a directing career ahead of him if he keeps this up, and probably get noticed for this movie as an actor.
Yeah.
And her too.
Sure. I think it's a big breakthrough for all of them, you know, in a way. I think a lot of people were out of the gate kind of like dismissing it a little bit.
No.
But you know, before it started to show, you know what I mean? Back when it was in development, I think a lot of people were like, certain people, like people are like into this movie, like the original and that kind of thing. A lot of people were like, oh, why bother doing it? Like, and stuff like that. And it's like, well, the reason I thought it was going to be good was because like I knew Bradley Cooper was writing and directing it.
And Clint Eastwood producing.
Right. That too. But my thinking was that like, this guy's not taking that far a walk out of what's his known zone by everybody to write and direct, get that obsessed about material, and not have it be like in a like obsessively probably great thing, like in a way where like, you know, he's like it's all his vision, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think he's a guy who's going to go on to be like Clint, where it's like you're going to start to see him more behind the camera. Right. You know, I think he's a guy who like people probably won't see it coming, but because he's such a charismatic and good-looking guy, like we tend to like, oh, he'll always be in front of the camera. But I think he's a guy who could easily slip behind and be
talented.
Like, you know, I don't really need the spotlight.
Right. Well, that's the most actors, they only get that longevity. By doing directing as well. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Or other aspects of it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Leonardo DiCaprio is always working because he's making movies for himself. Basically.
Yeah. Well, nowadays, yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's a really good story, and it's definitely interesting one. I always thought the story was very interesting.
Yeah. It's a great setup.
So good for them.
Anytime, you know, it's that, you know, underdog kind of story. It's a different version of the underdog story where she gets plucked from nothing. And, you know, despite her being told or, like, you know, keeping her talents within, like, she gets to shine. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And, like, for anybody, that can be a really fucking powerful thing, you know?
I also like the different versions of the name that they give the main character, because back in the Judy Garland days, it was James Mason.
Right.
He was Norman Maine.
Okay.
And Chris Christopherson was John Norman.
Okay.
And Bradley Cooper is Jackson Maine. So it's almost like each
they're
one
playing with it.
is a derivative of that.
Yeah. Right. Of that it's all in the wheelhouse, and writer has to make sure he gets his credit.
James Mason.
Because that's the thing. You know, you got to change the name of the characters. Otherwise you got to pay that other guy money.
You couldn't think of 3 different people.
No, absolutely.
James Mason, Chris Christopherson, and Bradley Cooper.
Yeah. You know.
But it's a story. It's a really good Hollywood story.
Okay.
Good for them.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoop-de-do.
There was a lot of applause at the end. I saw it was a packed audience.
Yeah.
And it was all. This is by no means something just for women.
No,
this is not for. This is every.
It sounds like it would be like a perfect couples movie.
It's an all play.
It's an all skate.
It's an all skate.
It's an all skate. All right, everybody out to the wood. It's time for an all skate. Find your girl or your boy. Oh, yeah. Welcome to the Roller-Rama.
Yeah. I'm Floyd Garber.
Next one, we're all going in reverse. Spending some time at the Roller-Rama.
Let's see how many people can break their necks roller skating backwards.
And it's like most of them, because like half of them can't do it.
Because as soon as one does it, nobody can see behind them.
Well, nothing was ever worse than when you were going to a roller rink, and there's that one guy who's the same guy on the ice, when you're at the ice skating rink, who's going backwards at like 100 miles an hour, looping around the place, just being that guy. Like, you know, like, I just want you guys all to know that, like, I'm amazing out here, all right? But I'm not going to get in anybody's way. I'm not going to do anything too crazy. But I am going to go backwards as fast as I possibly can for like an hour.
Yeah. Or the one guy who goes all by himself.
Yeah.
And stands in the middle and does all the disco dancing on
Yes,
roller.
there is that guy too. Right. He's been waiting for the hokey pokey for like an hour and a half.
But he's all alone and he does that. He sits there and does that all night long. He'll do the whole John Travolta thing on all the skates.
Yeah, the bend down with the leg, with the crouch with the leg kick outs.
Yeah, the whole Russian kicks.
Bauer Fett, roller rink. Are you 65?
No, I'm 51.
No, man, just spent way too many summers like upstate at my grandmother's house, where like there was two things to do, and it was like they were next to each other.
Yeah,
it was
really.
the roller rink and the golf and the go karts.
Back in that day, Glens Falls had like 1,000 people.
Yeah.
They still had the drive-through.
Yeah.
And I think that was like 1981. You know what I mean?
The drive-through. What do you mean?
Drive-through movie theater.
Oh, the drive-through drive-in.
Drive-in.
I'm
See
like,
how long it's been?
I wasn't gonna say. I didn't want to call you out on it because I was like drive-through.
Drive-in movies.
Drive-in. Yeah.
They still had drive-in movies.
Yeah, and that was one of the few places that, and like when I went to visit you when you lived on Long Island,
Right.
Especially was the only places I saw like discounted movie theaters that had movies that had been like gone out for a while.
Yeah.
Like local movie theaters that just just played this Star Trek movie that was out last summer.
Yeah, because they were just because they couldn't compete.
Right.
With the
chains,
the big chains.
Yeah.
With what was currently out, so they would cater to hardcore audiences.
Right. So being a city boy, and I'm sure that's all over the country, and especially at that time too.
Yeah. Dude, I'm sure if you go to the movie theater in Leonardo, New Jersey, you're gonna find out that all they do is Kevin Smith movies. You know what I mean?
I was waiting for it. I was like, wait, Leonardo. I'm like, no, I know that's from Kevin Smith. So I was waiting for you to Jay to be like, oh, what's wrong with Leonardo, New Jersey, or to tell us literally what is wrong with Leonardo, New Jersey, besides being named after a Ninja Turtle.
Leonardo.
Just want to say
Leonardo, dude, that man's awesome.
Leonardo.
That character's awesome.
Yes, Leonardo. And DiCaprio's not bad either. Just saying.
He's cool.
He's right. We share a birthday.
We share a project.
Well, all right, you win. You win.
Oh, I'm dropping names.
You might have done work for him, kinda.
Yeah, sorta.
Well, you're gonna be 80, and you're gonna have that picture of you with Joaquin Phoenix. You'll be like, yo, you see this guy? That's that movie. You know that movie? That's my arm. That's my arm right back there. And they're gonna be like,
it might be.
They're gonna be like, fuck this 80-year-old man. He's full of shit.
All right. So where are we now? I guess we're around about that time. It's time for some email stuff, I guess, right? We've done the...
Your mama gone.
I guess, yeah.
Emails.
Baby
We
gone.
got emails.
Hot and spicy emails. I guess I should open up the email. I just realized I'm setting it up and I didn't even...
You see, you're having so much goddamn
See
fun.
that? You're right. I have
need another
more
drink.
fun when I ignore running the show.
Told you things were going to be fine.
I don't think anybody ever said they weren't.
You did.
I did.
Like, I don't know, bro.
I've been saying it for years.
I don't know, bro.
Everything's terrible. I've been saying it since I was 8. Everything sucks. If you tell me I'm wrong, you're lying. All right, so we got 3 in here.
Oh, you see?
3. Wow.
3?
Look
You see?
at that.
Yeah, you know why?
Because 2 of them are Wesley.
Two of them say you have 20. And two of them say that they have $25 million in your name waiting for you.
Hot off
in Nigeria.
Straight from Nigeria, man. and
Nigerian princess, and
then there's like Mixler notifications too, like so I'm like, oh, your stats, this kind of thing.
Listen. Enough with the alcohol on air.
As you empty out
As
your
I
bottles.
empty out my bottle of Red Label into my
right.
glass.
So here we go. Here's our first one here. This one's from Benny Livewire.
Hey, Chief.
Ben Kimber.
Benny and the Jets.
It says, hi there, gentlemen. I assume you guys have noticed I haven't written in a while. And that's true. Haven't seen you around, buddy.
Actually, we didn't notice.
Well, Bobby didn't notice.
Yeah, man.
It's because I've been holidaying in Tokyo, Japan.
Oh, very nice.
I loved my time over there, and I made a few Yankee friends while staying at the hostel.
Of course.
I shopped, went sightseeing, and visited a zoo during my time in Tokyo. I would very much recommend... Oh, man, I gotta slow down. I would very much recommend you guys leave your Pepsi and Doritos stained couch and go visit Japan one day.
Well, what kind of shit is that, man?
How do you know
I would love to go.
I would have you know
How does he know about the Pepsi and Dorito stained couch?
the fact that each one of us has one.
Well, that's not true, because mine is, double black label and fucking bugles.
Yeah. And mine's like a brown leather couch that doesn't really get stains like that.
I like when you find a bugle, it's been there a
Down-
while,
down
but
the-
hey.
And you're like, why is it so hard?
Yeah, it's good. Pork rinds, ever have those?
Yeah, not in a while. Those are like rocks, though. That's the problem. That's the problem with pork rinds. Most of them are okay out of the bag, but every now and then you start chomping down on one because you think it's going to be kind of like not too hard, but it's like a fucking stone.
They're really good, though, man.
They're addictive. They're addictive.
They're very addicting.
And you can feel like the grease, though, like after
They're-
like a bag.
Because they're that big, man. It's like 4 inches thick.
Well, you ever see them in the fucking... Actually, you go into the Mexican stores and they got they're just in a bin, loose, and you
Yeah.
have to take them out with the tongs and shit, and it's like, oh, that's an entire back of a pig. Yeah. Cool. Pop's chuckling over there. You heard that. All right.
Pork rinds.
So back to this email. I remember a few months back, a few of you guys went to the movies to see Tag. I believe Uncle Jay loved the film.
No,
and-
that's not true.
Okay. He's remembering wrong. Okay, so, but he'd like to say that he loved the film. He watched it on a flight back from Australia. Yes, Australia, the country I'm from that you guys keep forgetting. Yes, I think I put him in Iceland or something like that. I definitely put him on like the other side of the globe in some direction or another, but definitely all around the other side.
Every die's a good die in Australia.
All right. All right.
Hey, you know how they say that the water turns the other way in the toilet in Australia?
Yeah.
Someone was telling me that that's not true.
I don't know. Maybe it's not
So,
true. In Australia.
does it go clockwise or counterclockwise?
I guess we're going to have to wait another week for an email to have him answer that.
I liked Tag. I didn't love it.
Sure.
It was
sure.
it was a fun movie.
Yeah, fair enough. And it's been a while. He might be just remembering that wrong in general. Because I don't think either one of you loved it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
I think it was
anyone-
like okay. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And anyone who's seen it is going a shorter period of time between seeing bouts of seeing Jeremy Renner.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's
Because he
true.
definitely wasn't in Avengers 3 with everybody else.
So, so one scene in Tag got me slightly annoyed was when the Australian actress Isla Fisher, who is married to Sacha Baron Cohen, who speaks in an American accent, says, "Would you like me to speak in a foreign accent?" Which she does. However, instead of her native Australian accent, she talks in a stereotypical French accent. Anyway, I love the film.
Okay.
A quick mention to Ed leaving the show. You were my favorite host, mate, which doesn't mean I don't love you guys. Bill, you're my favorite host now, so suck it, Uncle Jay. Laugh my ass off. All of you, all the best to you, Ed, and hope your endeavors go well for you, mate. Just trying to divide and conquer these people.
Well,
I would actually say, if I could just do this real quick, I wouldn't worry about it too much because when they hired her
Yeah,
to do the movie,
Right.
she was just a person to fill the role.
right.
The role happens to be someone who decides that they're going to put on a fake French accent.
There you go. It's probably it might even be one of these things where like there was a joke in there, but since you were reading into it too much, you know what I mean. As a viewer, this
Right.
in that moment, like thinking about it, you
Yeah.
might have missed some kind of
Right,
punchline.
yeah, the way he wrote it out seems to me like it might be a sarcastic moment.
Right, like he was waiting for her to do that so much that he might have lost that there was like a meta joke in there for someone who knows that she has a different accent.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like there's an extra layer of a joke there, a little
Right.
bit.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen the movie.
Right.
Anyone here who's seen the movie can, chime in.
Well, there you go.
Well, I was, trying to achieve the status of people liking me least. So by that logic, I succeeded.
Right. So,
There you go.
bell for you.
And Betty, you're my least favorite listener
There you go.
because you're Australian.
Because you're Australian and you have you're racist against
Exactly,
Australians.
That's the last country.
Right.
Oh, Antarctica.
Right. Well,
That's not even.
it's easier to hate per capita
Yeah.
with the Antarcticans or whatever you call them.
The Antarctikites.
And the 7 people that live there.
That sounds good too. All right, so here we
Thanks,
go.
Benny.
No, go ahead.
They probably had one more. All right, so next one there is Stephanie Muniz.
Hey, Steph.
Hey, baby doll.
So she says, hey, yous guys. Steph here, how's it going? I don't really have a question. I just wanted to say that you'll be seeing a lot more of me in the chat going forwards, listening live with Palmer. Anyway, take care, fellas. Your pal, Steph.
How cute.
So I think what she's really saying is, I'm safe. It's okay. He didn't do anything weird to me yet. I'm still alive.
Well, it's yet.
Yeah.
You know, this is like a Morse code kind of thing. Like, you know, there's some reading between the lines, I think, maybe.
Well, I'm happy for her that she's there. I hope everything goes well for
Sure.
the two of them.
Yeah, me too.
I just ask her, has he shown you the basement yet? If he's telling you not to go down there, that might be a sign.
Just make sure whatever room you're going into, he walks into first. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Always keep him in front of you.
Well, I have one
Yeah, booby
thing.
traps and such, right?
Ruby traps, you just can never get hit from behind if, you know, he's in front.
I got one thing to say.
Yeah.
Steph, not for nothing. You can do a lot better.
Right.
So don't worry, baby doll. The text messages and all that good stuff are still going to keep coming, probably even more so. And now you're in Uncle Jay's reach.
And to all of that, Palmer's like, I'm right here. I can hear you.
Of course he does. That's the whole point.
I know.
Right.
I know.
That's fucking ensign fucking voyage home.
And that's his half. That's his half of the bed.
But now they're sitting at home in his place,
Sure.
place, with not surrounding nice as a couple around one laptop.
Right.
They're around two separate units of some sort.
Right, because they have to be logged in separately for the chat room.
Right.
So interesting.
So are they side by side on laptops, or is she just hanging out, sitting next to him on her phone?
Right. Two sets of headphones.
Well, I'm going over there and verifying all this shit.
All right.
Then we're going to do a podcast over there.
You got to do a live kick-in?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think the address is still in Edge GPS.
We can make this happen.
2 Jasons and a Steph.
I got his address.
Star Trek.
Start sending fucking...
Stir-shick.
Gesundheit.
That too.
The freak
Start
by
sending-
fucking chic.
Oh, Bob nailed it, by the way, that I guess they were on 2 different devices listening independently.
Oh, okay.
Is that what you said? It was independently
Yeah,
listening,
yeah,
or
they-
just
they-
logged
yeah.
in on 2 separate...
Well, they have to be logged in on separate devices.
Right. Well, that,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
See, now you can't sext with your Gotham boyfriends.
Is that what was going on?
That's exactly what's going on. I know how Phoenix runs.
Does Palmer work? Palmer doesn't work for Gotham Lights, right?
Officially, no.
So you think maybe he'll start feeling cheated on?
Well, it'll just be one of those things,
Who
I
gives a
guess.
shit?
You know, well,
I'm just trying to stretch.
yeah, I don't know. We didn't need to. We good. We got another email.
Yeah, we do.
All right.
Cool.
Wesley.
That's right.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, you gentlemen, would you rather have a 1-minute conversation with your past self or your future self? And how do you think that conversation would go?
Well, because a conversation with my past self would have to go like this. You were a fucking moron. What the fuck were you thinking?
Do the opposite of everything you choose to do.
I would rather go and see my future self so that I can see just how bad it gets so that I can...
Do some course correction now.
Really.
Fair point, man. There's some
what I
serious
mean?
logic there. Thoughts, Jay?
I think
A 1-minute convo.
I would go back to my past self and punch him in the fucking face. And I would say to him, listen, do this differently.
Yeah.
But then if you do that, you're actually changing history.
Right.
So it would be interesting.
Right. I think the conversation, like if you don't disappear, right, has to end with you slapping him in the mouth because he didn't do it.
Well, the thing is
I'm still like you didn't. You have to make it like he's got to course correct enough that you don't have to ever come back. Like if we're following the time logic, right? And then you slap him in the mouth because you motherfucker. We're 58 seconds and you didn't do anything.
Well, look,
I should blink away like Marty McFly.
Past Jay is going to punch me
Right.
the moment he sees me. So
You two are just going to fight for 60 seconds.
Exactly.
Or argue.
No,
Some
actually,
kind of scuffle.
I think the shock of the both of us seeing each other because we know we're each other. I don't look much different except I'm a little grayer. That's it.
Well, here's the thing. I know one of you is not going to be paying attention because one of you is going to be like, "Well, we have to celebrate. We got to have a drink."
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking.
Well, that would be the first 20 seconds, and then I'd say, look, you need to do this, and watch out for this. Don't do that. And
but the first thing is get us a couple of glasses.
Yeah.
Chop, chop. I'm going to do some talking. Hustle up.
Don't sleep with that one because you'll have to get a shot.
Well, thankfully that hasn't happened.
But don't sleep with this other one because she's
exactly.
insane.
But, I'm just going to say, look, man, stay away from that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the thing, right?
And save money.
Yeah. I think either way, like Bob's layout too, is equally viable. I feel like either way, that's a really fucking important stuff, But I feel like,
Thomas K. and a hizzy.
Would have to have a sit down, with the.
Maybe the thing to do is meet your younger self, but bring the best.
The almanac.
Yeah, bring the almanac. Basically, I was gonna say bring the day's paper.
Oh, okay. Give him a little
money. Biff's got the almanac.
But it should really be an almanac.
Yeah. Well, hell. I just turned country on that one, boy. But
Hell,
boy. Hell, I'll tell you what. You can go down there with anything. You can bring a newspaper, bring a little ColecoVision, whatever you want to bring. You make some money.
I am going to talk to Star Trek, and maybe we should do a podcast, the three of us over there. Break the ice a little bit.
What are you going to be, like the relationship expert who comes in?
No, I'm
not.
no.
You can be like Dr. Phil?
She's leaving with me. That's what's happening. Go fuck yourself.
It's going to be a lot of you not even listening to Palmer, just talking to her.
This is why people like me to leave.
It's like, yeah, Palmer, go get us a couple of drinks.
See,
right?
now I know how that is going to go now. We're all going to go there planning the podcast from his house again, and there's going to be a chair for you.
Right.
A chair for me inside, and there's going to be one outside for Jay.
Right.
Well, listen, I got to do Gotham next season. Because
you're
Floyd Garber's
making a multiversal appearance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm basically Uncle Jay in a refugee outfit.
Yeah. Coming to a TV near you. But
Uncle Jay is a refugee.
You ain't kidding.
But, Bauer Fett says no Palmer would leave with Jay. Maybe.
You never know. In this day and age.
At the end, she gets the house.
That's it.
Who else we got? Oh, that's the end.
I think that's it. I think that's the end. Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I'm torn between it because I feel like either way you go with that scenario is like, maybe Bob's. I think Bob's got the better call because I feel like there's too much time travel you goop revolved around going into the past and trying to get that kid to fucking get anything right because that kid's a fucking jerk off. Talking about myself, my younger self. Like, I don't know if I don't even know if I could have gotten through to myself.
Well,
like,
here's
you know
the
what I
thing.
mean? At that age, like, nothing was getting through.
Like, it would be cool if I would have told myself to seek you out back in the 90s. But I know that Tommy would have I would have ran with Tommy and then...
All right, Tommy, you would have bumped into him.
And we probably either be both dead.
Right. That's why you would have faded away. That's why the future version that was visiting him would have faded. Because it'd be like, you just didn't live past 35. The two of you ended up in fucking Rikers or Sing Sing or some shit.
Hey, Tommy follows me on Instagram. He gives me some good boost.
Oh, yeah? Tommy boy?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Well, we hit it off.
Didn't even know you were on the gram. I'm not even following you on the gram.
Yeah, I got to follow you on the gram, too.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Oddly enough, you found Tommy somehow.
Tommy found me.
Via Facebook or something like that. It had to be.
He on Facebook, and then he found me on Instagram.
Yeah, because you can search.
And he's looking for that one night where we need to, we need to break night like the old days.
Holy
He's exactly
Christ.
my age, right? He's 45.
I believe so.
Yeah.
3 years older than me.
6 years younger.
So I'm gonna turn 42.
Turn the beat around. Love to hear percussions.
Anything you say, Gloria.
I will survive.
No, you said turn the beat around, so I was thinking Gloria Estefan. Because she does that remake.
I thought you meant Gloria Gaynor.
I figured that too. That's what you meant, but I just want you to turn
I
that
don't
beat
acknowledge the remake.
around. I don't believe in cover songs. I don't know if you heard, but I don't do covers.
Except when Motorhead did Cat Scratch Fever.
Yeah. Unless it's Motorhead doing it.
Well, I don't know where they come from.
Well, yeah. Well, Lemmy is the only guy. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Lemmy's the only guy who can get away with doing just about any
That
cover.
band. That band. Yeah. That band for sure. Because it's just such a whole different sound. All right, folks. This has been the Wicked Theory Podcast.
Come on, baby. Eat the rich.
We're going to tell you where you can find us if you ever want to find us. For instance, Uncle Jay, people can find you on Twitter at...
Floyd.Garber.Gotham.net.
Joker.
Joker.
Amsterdam.
slash
Tales of the City.
Daredevil.
slash Taft Hartley. slash SAG representation Pronto Esposito.
Don't forget slash Jim Jones.
slash Jim Jones. slash Sundance Channel. slash...
Why is your Twitter handle 78 letters?
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
slash 7 Netflix shows.
Yeah, slash, Gotham.
Dot
Gotham.
Hashtag where the fuck is Uncle Jay?
Wayne.
.Wayne.org.
At Uncle Jay's thing on the Twitters.
There you go. Brother Bob.
At Bob WTPC on Twitter.
People can find me at Wicked Theory. Our website is...
oh, my goodness.
yeah, I had some trouble. Exactly. That.com. WickedTheory.com. Find us wherever good podcasts are given away for free if you don't like where you're listening now. And if you're listening live, stick around. We're going to come back in a little bit. We're going to do a little more show. We call it the After Show. You can find the After Show on our Patreon if you ever miss it live. Patreon.com/WickedTheory. $1 a month gets you all the After Shows. $3 also gets you the monthly exclusives.
Fucking lousy dollar, man, for Christ's sake.
It's a bean.
Give us your money.
I feel I had that drink and you felt it. When you saw me drink it
I watched you swing that down.
You went,
I did a visceral reaction.
Yeah, the timing was perfect.
Yeah. So, kids, if you like what you're listening to, I don't see why you wouldn't. Stick around. We got more.
damn right, it's a fucking good show.
Damn right.
91 minutes.
Of all the podcasts you do, this is your favorite.
We're gonna play Torn Between Two Lovers.
Torn between.
That's the name of the show.
Torn between two podcasts.
The Wicked Theory podcast is heard live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern until whenever. Just go to mixler.com/wicked-theory. Mixler is MIXLR. Sign up to join the chat. Then click the follow button to get reminders whenever the show goes live. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, wherever good podcasts are given away for free, and at wickedtheory.com. You can support the show at patreon.com/wickedtheory. There you can get the after show if you miss it live. God forbid. Plus other exclusive episodes. As always, send your emails to podcast@wickedtheory.com.